This is an international podcast transmission. Is anyone out there? If you're listening, you've reached the No Fixed Agenda podcast.
I'm taking this train to the promised land. Won't you give it up? You understand. We'll take one foot forward. Don't look back.
Welcome back, everybody, to No Fixed Agenda, presented by Bubs Naturals.
You seem a little stressed right now, buddy.
I'm definitely not stressed right now.
You're not
Hold
stressed?
on, I gotta adjust our camera so I'm not looking at the. Oh, there we go.
I mean, I like the camera there, dude, but I feel like I got to do this to you.
Well, that's why I kind of lean to the side
like
here a little bit. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Is it a neurological thing where I'm just like,
I think
what
so.
the fuck? Like,
Maybe.
Get the fuck out of
You know what it
here,
is?
dude.
It's I don't like looking directly at you. I gotta look at you in the camera.
God, I see you're facing the screen and I'm not. I'm facing the. And you know me with lenses, I can't speak right when I'm looking into a lens, right?
I'm trying to throw you off a little bit.
Dude, you're fucking definitely doing it. It's working.
So I read an article this morning that I thought was quite interesting, and I thought it was kind of a fun topic that we could discuss today. It's about the lottery.
Oh God.
Yeah. You know the other thing too is I love it when you come in and you're like, we're gonna do a random thought, and you have no idea what I'm gonna come up with.
I love that, dude. I do too. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I'll be like, you know what a good random thought is, dude? Like, let's burn out. Like, I'll have like some. My random thoughts are really. I'm learning that are a lot more deeper. Your random thoughts are like let's just have fun with it, right?
I want to have fun with it.
Yeah.
I read this article. So the grand scheme of the conversation today is, as everybody always talks about, like when the lottery gets, like we just had the 1.2 billion lottery happened, right?
I don't even pay attention.
Okay.
Me and my bubble, bro. Remember,
right. I know.
I'm in my bubble.
So somebody just won $1.2 billion in the lottery.
Fuck.
Right. This was 3 weeks ago, something like that. So there's always that conversation of, at any point in time in your life, in any friend group or circle, there's always that. What would you do?
Yeah.
Right? That's the final question that I want to get to, because I always like kind of knowing what people would do with this thing, because there's also the thing where they say that winning the lottery is also a curse.
Oh, 100%.
Money
can be a curse,
money's
bro.
a curse.
Yeah.
And people who, let's just be real with this. Most of the people that win the lottery are people that are not very financially well off. They're in
I would even say they're not financially literate enough to handle that much
exactly.
money.
Yes. You can go on a couple different levels with that. So all of a sudden they get all this money and it's like, boom, boom, boom. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy that. I'm going to buy this huge house. I'm going to do that.
Because buying things equals
and it's
equals
so that's
success.
Exactly. And then it's like, well, I want to help out. I want to help out family. I want to help out friends. I want to or vice versa. Those friends and those family are coming at you to ask for money. And then you're like, oh, okay, I'll just give you some, whatever. Right. So there's kind of a couple layers as far as winning the lottery. So I read this article, I think it was last night or this morning, where this is back from 1990. So it's not a new article. It's a new article, but it's about somebody in 1990
who won the lottery. Got it.
14 times.
Shut the fuck up. Dude, shut up, bro.
Yeah.
Who's this guy? Okay. Girl? What is it?
So it's a guy. So the story is he's Romanian, and the European Union has their lottery system just like we do. So this guy wanted to win the lottery, and he's a mathematician or something along those lines. So he did some simple math to figure out how he could win the lottery. Okay. He ended up winning the lottery in Romania, Australia, and the US. 14 times total
overall
between the three different countries. And how he did this was, it was all simple math. So he he figured out what the chances were, right? Like most chances of winning the lottery are one in every 300 billion people or something, or 130 billion or something stupid. And it's just like, what the fuck?
Crazy, yeah.
What he did is he looked at some of those lotteries that maybe only your chances were one in every 100 million, one in every 7 million. Like he always looked at these areas. And so some state lotteries versus national lotteries are the chances are lower or higher versus where you're going. Right.
Correct.
So the example, I don't know, the article didn't really go into how he pulled it off in Romania and Australia, but it said the same thing. Like he did it the same way in the US as he did it in Romania and Australia, so what he did is he looked at, it was the state of Virginia lottery.
Okay.
Just the state lottery system.
State lottery.
And again, this is 1990. So during that time frame, the chances of winning the state lottery were 1 in 7 million.
Good.
So what he did is over the course of like 2 or 3 years, he was doing he was crunching all the numbers as far as, okay, this state lottery is X, this state lottery is Y. So then what he did is he went to all these investors and he got enough investors where it was like, okay, I need 7 million investors to go out and buy lottery tickets. He did it.
7
he
million?
found,
Wait, did the article say how much they invested?
No, it's like really, you're buying one ticket. You're buying 2 tickets, whatever. That's all it is, right? So
he has 7 million people.
So what he's
buy
trying to
one or
do,
two
yeah.
tickets.
So what he's trying to do is he's trying to factor in for every single type of lottery, like how many, and you don't have to buy 7 million tickets, right? It's number combinations. How many number combinations are in each lottery system? So what he did is he figured out, oh, well, there are, 6 million lottery combinations in the state of Virginia's lottery system. And
smart motherfucker, dude.
Right. But the chances of winning are 1 in 7.5 million or something. Right. So all he had to do was like, he just had to buy enough of the tickets where I think it was like 80% of the number combinations were purchased. And there's no wrongdoing with this. Like the FBI got involved and they tried to
break any laws.
They tried to figure it out. Like, why is this guy winning? All he did was he just got X amount of people to buy lottery tickets, and he figured out that okay, it's 1 in 7 million to win. The Virginia lottery was 15 or 16 million at the time, and he ended up winning. They ended up profiting. So I don't know how many people buy in, right? Like but they walked away as profit because it was like, oh, it's a 1 in 7 million. We bought 600 million tickets, 6 million tickets, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it just, so mathematically,
it made sense because everybody got paid out.
And the article didn't go into how much everybody got paid out.
It's pretty fucking simple math, dude. If he's like, even if it's like 1 in 7, if he had 7 million investors, the fucking lottery is 15, or let's just sell for easy numbers, 14 million. Everybody got $2 million off of like a $1 or $2 investment, dude.
Yeah. And so so that was the thing. And so he did that in Australia, Romania, and the US over the course of a few years. It took him a few years to kind of factor in each lottery numbers, but
I'm rethinking my whole life right now.
And he looked at it as, and it's also based on how many numbers are available in play, right? One lottery system might have only 44 numbers that you can select, whereas another one might have 99 numbers that you can select, right? So the number combinations are vary between different types of lotteries.
Correct.
So that's what he spent all this time doing, is crunching numbers and seeing what number categories, how many number categories combinations could possibly be. And then he pulled out
because the number categories determined not just like the ratios of like 1 in 7 million, right? He's going to get 7 million investors, but then you have to worry about the number combinations and the variabilities, right? So if he has the number of variabilities of, let's just say there's 500 or 5 million, or let's go 14 million options, right? He's like, now you're telling people to buy the number. Each investor is going to have to know how many variable numbers that they're going to be playing so that they could actually win. And then they all got to come up to an agreement, dude. Like, dude, it's just like those, like, this reminds me of like a much larger scale of like a workplace lottery.
Yeah, that's exactly what this was. I wish the article went into a little bit more was how he was able to get number combinations to specific people. Like, nobody really knew.
Today's technology, dude.
But again, this is 1990.
Oh, shit.
Right. So this is 1990. So
there was no, like, it was MySpace, bro.
Yeah. not even. There was 1990. There was no internet. There was no internet.
There was no internet, bro. Like, what the hell?
How do you get people to tap into this? And then how do you get those? Like, hey, we need to buy. This group of people needs to buy these number combinations. This group of people, like, how do you do that? The article didn't go into any of that, which I wish it would have, because it was quite interesting. You think about it. It's like, as you said, in today's society,
easy
social media, email,
fucking chat, circle, whatever.
Exactly. Whatever, WhatsApp, whatever it is. In 1990, it's like, you're sitting there calling ground lines. You're calling ground phone numbers.
Party lines, bro. Remember the old party lines, bro? Yeah.
Party lines. You're sending a snail mail out. Like, what are you doing? It's unbelievable. So anyway,
like, but like, look at how remember the old, back in the day, the sweepstakes thing?
Oh yeah,
dude, that's exactly what
do they still have that?
Dude, I don't know. I don't even know, bro. I don't know. There were like old stamps.
It was the Ed McMahon.
Yes,
sweepstakes.
Yeah, dude. Yes, we're old as fuck, people.
And I remember getting that shit in the mail, or my parents getting that stuff in the mail. Yeah. Back in the Midwest, and you always that was the big thing. Is you're like, yeah, it's all about the sweepstakes, and then Ed McMahon would show up
here with a check.
Yeah,
but dude, if Ed McMahon could do it back then, like this guy just fucking created something similar. He had to have like a mailing list or some shit.
So there's something that he did to do this, and I don't really know, but anyway,
it definitely was not easy, bro.
No,
it was not easy.
Well, that's why it took him like 2 or 3 years to get something going in the U.S.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Again, the article was very vague as far as Romania and Australia goes. It kind of gave you the assumption that he'd spent 2 or 3 years doing it in every country to kind of like do the math and get people together and everything else. But the FBI and CIA came into it. Well, there's no wrongdoing.
Wrongdoing. He did not break any laws.
He didn't break any laws whatsoever. So it was interesting. Yeah. When I read that article, and then something came out about the guy who won $1.2 billion the other day. About he finally dropped his name, or something came out with some information. Like, so I kind of started going back to that again. That question of what would you do if you won the lottery?
That's an easy answer for me, dude. I'll ask you because mine is super easy.
No,
mine's super simple, dude.
What would you do?
Nobody would ever fucking know. Nobody would ever fucking know.
Yeah.
That's my first thing. No, not even my wife.
How would you keep that?
I love you, Suzette. I love you, Suzette.
Omar, why are we spending all this money? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. No. I am, you and I have talked about like living in our purpose and like doing the things that we love to do. And it's like, my number one advice to people that are in their 20s is like, do the fucking thing that you really love to do and figure that shit out quick. Because if you don't, you're going to wait till you're fucking 40 and you're going to be miserable. Are there going to be hardships? Absolutely. There's going to be hardships whether you're doing something you don't like to do and you're like working for a fucking paycheck that you really like, that you really enjoy, and you become really dependent on, right? And then you're miserable doing something you're fucking miserable doing. But if you're doing something you love to do, then you have so much flexibility, right? You have so much, like, that's like your North Star, your guiding light. Like, it doesn't, like, nothing changes, right? It's like you're doing what you fucking love to do. So if I were to win the lotto, nothing would change because I'm doing what I love to do. That's simple. How would I tell Suzette? Suzette, why wouldn't I tell Suzette? Or, how would I keep it from her? I'm doing what I love to do. I would not change anything. Would I scale my business a little bit more? Probably. It's like, I'm not going to be like, I'm opening 5 OTHs in the next 2 months. Like, no, not going to happen. It's going to be like, oh, let me hire a manager for this one. And let me back out of this and get some structure in place and do some things that I have been procrastinating on because I just don't have the money to do.
Would you keep the one place you've got now?
Oh, 100%, bro. Nothing would change.
Nothing would change.
Nothing would change. That's the thing. Nobody would know because nothing. I would keep the same truck even, dude. I would replace my bumper finally. You know what I mean? Like, I might lift it a little bit, but that's about it. Like, it ain't I'm just the same beater truck for the next. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna fucking change anything because I love my truck. I love my job. I love the people that I hang around. I love my friends, dude. I would figure out a way for my life in its current state to try to eliminate as much stress as possible. And that doesn't cost me a shit ton of money, dude.
Yeah. Not true.
And it's like, I'm traveling now. Like, we're going to fucking Chicago in a few weeks. And then before that, I'm going to Big Sur. And, we're talking about going to Stockholm and all these things, right? It's like, what's changed? So why would I change that? I mean, other than creating a little less stress, like the things that I don't like to do. Like, I don't like crunching numbers and managing all the little minor requests.
You just hire a couple more people.
I would hire a couple more people, dude. And it would look like I'm just scaling my business. And I'd be like, yay. I would show up to my gym, happy as a pig in shit, because I could actually just work out and have fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is me. Like, Jeff, what are you doing today, bro? Let's go, right? It would just be, that would be the only way that people would know that I actually want some money, because I'd be who I am today, but a lot less stressed. Mm. And so that was it. I have no grand illusions that I would buy a yacht, and I wouldn't buy my family a house each. And so the reason why it's not that I don't trust Suzette or anybody in my family to know that I won the lotto. I want to make that clear, Suzette. It's not that. I just wouldn't tell anybody, because when that kind of information or power comes to you as an individual and influence, that people around you start to act differently.
Well, like I said, I mean, I think a lot of that comes to people find out you have money. Like, always looking for a handout. Well, remember, you know what? Hey, third cousin down the line, like, oh yeah, we remember we used to hang out when we were kids. And like, next thing you know, they're asking for a little bit of a handout. Like, you got the money. Like just give me $10,000.
Yeah,
I got to pay my bills off. $10,000, like whatever it is, right? And so
I would pay my debt off, and then I wouldn't pay it overnight. It would be aggressive, but it wouldn't be overnight. I would reduce stress in my life, and I would scale my business a little bit more aggressively. Those are what I would do, bro. That's that simple. Like, it would be, maybe that making more investments in the podcast or that I can't make right now. It would be like maybe investing into OTH, maybe taking some time to invest into an online product like I've been wanting to do anyway. So like nothing would change. And so you sit there and enjoy your life. And I wouldn't tell anybody, because to my point, that it is so toxic when people know. And I only know this because I love my family to death, my siblings, and until you go through starting a business, you don't understand the struggle that's behind that if you've never done it before. And when people think that, well, you start a business, I just had a conversation about this the other day with somebody, and they're like he is selling his business. And he's like, I'm done. And he goes, I'm done with my family thinking that I have it all because I own a business. And so, like, the same applies with money, dude. You get all these money. You're like, oh, I want $1 billion. Oh, my God. You can do this for me. You can do that for me. You can do this for me. And it's not selfishness. It's really just a lack of not knowing.
Yeah.
Like, they don't understand. And so it's not that they're bad people around you, but they're human beings, one, and people just act differently, right? I see it in the way people respond to me in my business, even when I walk into the gym, dude. Like I can't be like being myself around you is easy when it's just you and me in the gym. But you see it. I'm not crazy. I walk into the gym and I'm in a class and people are like, hey, Omar. And I'm like, I just want to be the goofy guy that I am and be loud and have fun and just do what I want to do. But I can't be that. And I'm not that. And that's I think that's what would happen if people found out that I had $1 billion in the bank.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? It's like nobody would know because I want people to experience me for who I am. And that's it. And enjoy my life. That's that simple. I don't need a car. I don't need a Lamborghini. I don't need a boat. I don't need none of that shit, dude. I'm going to fucking be able to take it with me. It's going to create dissension in the people that I love most. I'm selling I'm burning the boats. I'm fucking selling it all. I'm out, bitch.
There was a time when I was younger. I think whenever you are younger and you hear about that kind of money, you're like, I'm not ever going to work again.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to buy 10 houses, like we said, right? I think. And as you get older, that kind of changes a little bit. I'm in that zone with you in a sense that I think I would definitely publicly never drop my name with it. Nobody would ever know publicly.
Exactly.
Who won, let's call it $20 million, right?
Right.
Nobody would publicly ever know that.
A man in Carlsbad.
Yeah. What I would definitely do, I think the first thing I would do, regardless if it's 20 million or 200 million, the first thing I would do is call a lawyer and be like, all right,
Bart,
what the fuck?
what do I do?
Tell
me what to do. First, sign this NDA.
Yeah. Here's an NDA. Well, client privilege. Right? You wouldn't be able to talk about it anyway. But I would definitely go there. I would then also, at the same token, call a financial advisor and be like, hey, I need to talk to you about some financial stuff.
Smart.
What's that look like?
Yeah.
Again, this is the mature Jeff coming out.
I got a follow-up question, but keep going.
Mature Jeff is definitely lawyer, financial advisor first before I even claim anything, right? Because you have 30 days, something like to claim that. Yeah. I would immediately be like, all right,
where do I need to put this money at right now?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What do I need to do?
How do I not get raked over the coals for Uncle Sam? Yeah.
Right, exactly. I would probably also call my CPA and be like, all right.
Yo, life is about to get crazy.
Life is about to get crazy. How can I get as much money as possible out of this whole entire deal?
Yeah.
Who can I donate to first and foremost?
OTH.
There you go. I'll make it seem like you won the lotto.
That fucker won the lotto now.
I think at this point, I'm kind of with you. I would definitely make sure that all my debt is paid.
Yeah.
Make sure our house is paid off. Make sure that anything between Des and I, right, is taken care of and we are living debt free for the rest of our lives, right? Yeah. I think that's the big thing there. I would not quit my job. I'm in that same zone of you as I would definitely hire more people. Be like, all right,
I don't want to do this.
The race brand is growing. I need to hire on race, and everybody knows that I've made it public, before. Like 55 is kind of my breaking point for doing race director duties and getting up at 3:00 in the morning and slugging stuff around, right? So I would definitely fast track the idea of, okay, I need to retire from being a race director and just work on the back end of my business. So I would aggressively, again, start to hire more people, grow the business as we need to. Does it expand into other areas again? Who knows? I mean, it would definitely be trying to expand the San Diego side of things. I think the only thing I would probably do from I don't want to say luxury, but Des and I have always talked about, like, we don't really want to retire in California. So I would make sure that we had some kind of place outside of probably even the US to buy. Ireland, Greece, wherever it is, right? And so that way we have that property out there that we could go to whenever we wanted. We wanted to travel and be like, all right, this is going to be our home base for the next 2 months while we travel here, whatever. But it's also some place that we have to go when we retire. Right. So that would be the biggest thing. I'm with you. I wouldn't do the extravagant purchases of new truck. I need to buy 10 houses. I need to, whatever. I used to say that I would help pay my parents' debts off and their mortgage and whatever. They are lucky enough where they don't have all that. They've paid off their property and their mortgage a long time ago. So, I don't have to worry about that. Would I make sure that my niece and nephew are taken care of? Yeah, definitely. Hey, let me make sure, like in a trust, right? Like, hey, after a certain age, you're going to get X amount of money. I don't trust 20-year-olds with $1 million, right? So it's like, okay, you're 35 years old. You've figured your shit out. Here you go. I would probably do that too.
I would say that I would do something similar for my kids and my grandchildren.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm all about, and that's the thing. My parents and I have been having these conversations too about that stuff of what happens when they pass away. And that was the thing that I told them. It's like, yeah, giving your grandkids, an inheritance is great. What I would do is make sure that they reach a certain age before they even get anything. They have to figure their shit out. And that's the same for any kid. Like 20 somethings, you should not know what the fuck is going on. Honestly, live life and just enjoy, make mistakes. You get into your 30s, start to kind of understand where it's at, right? Yeah. So I would make sure that, again, probably have them taken care of after they reach a certain point. Fuck, they could be even 40 years old. Like you reach 40 when you actually have a family and know what the hell's going on, and you're in the thick of things and you're trying to figure out the money situation. Yeah. Hey, great. Look what happened here. Yeah. That's what I would do. Now that's mature, Jeff.
Wait. Before you go down this other rabbit hole real quick. Yeah. Before you go, you're absolutely right on the nephew piece. And I know the same thing, but this saying that I wanted to share before you go down this very, what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? In youthful Jeff.
Immature.
Immature. There you go. There you go. Very immature Jeff. Like I have a feeling I think I know what you're going to do. But even though, like, if we're dreaming about like maturity and like doing right with what, if you ever won the lotto, trust funds babies is a term for a reason. If you sit there, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna set up a trust fund for my niece and my nephew. I'm gonna trust fund for my kids and my grandson. Like, they're never gonna have to worry about shit in the world, right? I think that's fucked up. Just my own personal opinion. Why? Because like we are the men that we are today because of the hardships that we went through.
What? 100%.
And so like you sit there.
That's why I say if that was ever to be set up, like it has to be a point in your life when you've already got your stuff figured out. Yeah. You've got kids. Yeah. You have a job. You have this direction. Yeah. And that trust then open, like, hey, you've hit 35 or 40 years old when you probably need that money, right? To help out with your kids or with whatever else, right?
And so it's like you sit there and you're like, dude, there has to be some kind of, if I'm doing it, I'm doing like, there's a trust. There's stipulations to the trust, meaning you got to have this, you got to have that, you got to do this, you got to do that. You're not just going to get money. Like you have it available to you. You will never have to worry about it if you just do the work to be able to not have to worry about it. And that's what I would say, because there's a quote, and I'm going to butcher the fuck out of it, but it's not even a quote. It's a saying, right? It was like, they interviewed some guy from Saudi Arabia. It was like a millionaire, right? He says like, my dad, like a billionaire, trillionaire. He came in and he's like, my dad rode in on a donkey into this town. We are now driving around in Mercedes-Benz. In about 20 years from now, my kids are going to be so lazy or weak that they will be back riding donkeys out of this.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, dude, like that's fucking deep, bro. You're sitting there like, dude, because he's so right. Because that person is never going to fucking realize that they got to actually do some work to have that $1 trillion or that $1 billion, right?
Yep.
So like, as I digress, now I'll leave that responsibility. Now the responsible Omar and Jeff. Now let's dream a little bit. You're just getting out of college. He still has hair on his head.
So it's funny. Yeah. I think it's one of those things too. You ever see the movie Brewster's Millions?
Yes, dude. Yes, I was going to bring that up. But
Yes.
he had to spend a certain amount of
He
money,
had to
right?
spend,
In order to keep it or some shit like that.
yeah, he had to spend X amount of money. I can't remember. He had to spend X amount of money to make sure
Per
that
day.
Oh yeah, it was like $1 million.
Yeah, it's $1 million a day. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so it was 30 million or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, yeah.
Spend $1 million a day to
Inherit.
inherit 100 million
Yeah.
at the end, and
Yeah.
nobody else knew about it.
Yeah, and he couldn't tell anybody.
You know, when you're growing up, that was kind of one of that was my thought process in the fact of when you're growing up and a kid, you watch that movie and you're like, ooh, I think I could do that. And then you kind of realize like there's no fucking way that you could do that.
Spend $1 million a day, dude.
You can,
You
but
can.
the stipulations that he had on him and what he could buy and couldn't buy and everything else, right?
It was very fucking
So
hard.
it's kind of one of those things like you go through and you're like, I would buy X amount of cars,
Because you couldn't have assets, remember, dude?
yeah.
You couldn't buy assets.
But going back to what I would have done as immature Jeff, that would, I'd buy X and Y for my cars, like that I love, like there's.
What's the car? Come on.
I still to this day would love to buy one of the vintage Broncos.
Oh, yeah.
They call it, the company's called Vintage Modern now,
Okay.
but their Broncos are like $120,000, like redone Broncos from the 70s and 80s, right?
Whoa.
Love it. I love those cars. I'd love to have one of those.
Uh-huh.
And I would probably just be able to have one, but I'd probably buy a really nice truck on top of that too. But
On top of the other two trucks you
I was
got.
never into the sports car thing because I was always too tall for a lot of the sports
I
cars.
can't imagine you.
So
in
I
a
never really
Lamborghini,
dreamed
bro.
of the sports
Knees in
car
the chest.
mentality. It was always, and being a Midwest farm kid, you country bumpkin, it was all about trucks, right? So it's like,
They don't make them in your size,
No,
bro.
they don't. It's like, well, I'd buy a house here. I'd buy a house there. I'd travel. I would retire. I wouldn't work ever again. Knowing full well that I would be bored as hell if I never
Lose your
worked.
fucking mind, bro.
I would probably open up a donut shop. I don't know. Who knows? In my mentality now, I would probably start 3 or 4 new businesses right away. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think I would have burned through a lot of it as a younger individual.
Yeah.
I never really would have had the mindset of I need to talk to this person and the financial advisor, and
I
how
can
you
figure
get-
this shit
and
out.
I would let everybody know that I was the one that wanted, and it's I definitely do not think that way anymore. I haven't thought about that way for a long time, but and it's the funny thing is, and then Des and I are like, we need to win the lottery. Well, the problem is you have to play the lottery to win the lottery. And the fact that I look at it and it's like, 1.2 billion. You know what the odds of winning on that are? Never mind. I'm not going to spend the $2 it takes to buy a ticket.
It's not even worth my
It's
$2.
It's not even worth my $2. Like I'm just paying the local 7-Eleven $2 just to have my money. So, and even then it's like, but then my mentality too is where you buy your tickets are also a big thing. Nobody's winning in Carlsbad,
Where are they winning at, bro?
Florida.
Huh?
Florida,
Or so we're flying to Florida to buy some
Bakersfield.
Bakersfield. Fucking armpits, go.
The armpits, man.
Nothing against anybody who's in Florida or Bakersfield,
But
okay?
look how many times the lottery is won in the South
Yeah.
by the individuals that again don't have the financial means already.
Yeah.
And it's kind of one of these things that, I just won this. I'm buy in these areas. Like you don't really hear of somebody winning. Even you don't really hear of somebody winning the big one in Los Angeles, New York City. The largest cities in the country where there's the most people probably buying tickets. Nobody's winning anything in those cities. Like
Yeah, you're right.
nobody's winning anything in Austin, Texas either. It's like it's all in these little small podunk areas
Or in impoverished areas. Yeah.
or impoverished areas. Like again, I buy a ticket in Carlsbad. I'm just giving away $2. There's no way that I'm winning.
Donating to the cause.
Whatever.
Oh,
Anyway, I digress.
All right, so you're buying a Bronco, a truck, and that's it.
Yeah, maybe a couple houses. I don't know.
A couple.
I would still pay my debt off for sure.
You're just create more debt.
I would just create more debt by paying, but yeah, whatever. Again, immature Jeff versus mature Jeff. or
dude, I'm dying over here.
25-year-old Jeff versus 48-year-old, 49-year-old Jeff.
49-year-old Jeff. Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
If I were 20 in my 20s, dude, I can't see. This is a hard part. You did not.
You would have spent it all on meth,
dude. No, that would have been after the fact, dude. Like I had fucking kids when I was 15, bro.
Well, you did, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not like okay, 20-year-old. I owned a house when I was 19 years old. I probably would have bought another fucking house at that age, and then me and my wife would have got divorced, and then I would have bought a shit ton of meth.
Yeah, and you could buy a shit ton of meth for that much.
Buy a shit ton. The cartel. I'd be knocking on the cartel's front door, bro. Like, hey, I need $1 billion, bro. Can I get a
give
brick?
Me an IV drip of it just right now.
I don't need a brick. I need a container brick. Yeah, like I want to get high for the rest of my life, and that might only be 1 year from now.
Yeah.
But no, dude, I think I would have definitely partied my ass off. And you're talking to somebody who cashed out stock so that he can fucking celebrate his divorce. Like, I get it. And so, yes, in my 20s, I probably would have just partied my friggin' ass off. And I'd, honest to God, think I would have died. Because I would have had no limits, bro.
Yeah.
That's a problem for me, dude.
Yeah.
But if I would have wanted in my teens when I had my, like I said, when I bought my house at 19, bro, like, I would have paid my house off. I would have bought 2 other cars. My kids would have had been like all these brand new clothes and gear and toys and all this other shit, dude. And then I wouldn't have worked. Who knows? I might not be divorced because we were divorced because I work so much, right? And we just didn't know who we were. I don't know. But all that to say is probably I would have done all those things. I probably would have bought a couple vacation homes for sure because I've always wanted to travel. But growing up from nothing, dude, I would have definitely bought my mom a house. I would have bought all my siblings a house. And, I would have done all the stupid things that I said that I wouldn't do now, but I definitely would because I was like the right thing to do. And they struggled just like I did. And not realizing that their struggle is what's going to define them to be who they're going to be later on in life, right? And so those are the things that I probably I would have just given it away and partied my ass off, dude. And in about 5 years from now, I would have, and 5 years from the date that I wanted, I'd been broke and bankrupt.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. And that's why now I would not, any of that shit, nobody would know. And I would contact a fucking attorney, an investor as well, and figure it all out. But nobody would fucking know. And nobody would know. I would just be sitting there like, I got no stress in my life. I'd be like in Hakuna Matata, baby. I got no worries for the rest of my days. This is the life, baby. I'm doing what I do. I got no worries. I ain't worried about nothing but the fucking IRS, baby.
Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata, baby. Because you don't realize this, people that fucking win the lottery, bro. They let's say our 20-year-old selves would have done that, right? And we would have won the lottery. But you're doing all these things because you think you're trying to help people out, and then you're creating more stress on top of that. But I'm learning out in my 48 years of this life to be on this fucking planet, dude. If you can just manage your stress and be fucking happy, that is the life that you really want. It's not the car. It's not, I was having a conversation about this with somebody who just got their mommy makeover. And I'm like, you think a mommy makeover is going to make you happy? It's not, but go ahead. Do it. In about freaking 2 more years or a year, that's going to wear off. And you're going to be like, dude, this sucks. I still got to work out and do all the shit all the hard things? Yes. Because that mommy makeover will be reversed easily if you allow it. And so, yeah, I think it's important that no matter if you do win the lotto or any money for that matter, I've seen it time and time again. It could not even be the lotto, bro. It could be like a trust. It could be that I inherited money. I know people that just inherited money and they're blowing it. I'm like, hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with that money? Well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to pay this. I'm going to pay that. I'm going to do this. And I'm like, why don't you like take that money and put it into like the stocks or something or buy an investment of some sort?
Well, that's the thing. It's like you get any inheritance or trust or whatever. It's kind of like you want to pay off any debts, but I keep that shit invested the entire way. Like,
fuck yeah, dude.
You know, especially stocks in the housing market. Buy an Airbnb property and invest into shit like that, right? Like I look at some of that stuff. I'm like, yeah, it's all about investment when it comes to, again, this is our older selves talking.
This is your older self, not. Yeah. So if you're young and you do not know what to do and you come into some money, either through a lotto or through an inheritance, talk to somebody who's older.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk to somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing, or they might not know, but they're definitely going to give you some fucking different perspective, right? But
I'd like to know what our listeners would.
Oh, dude, you're going to get a myriad of fucking responses.
I would love to see what whoever wins the 1.2 again, because it's going to happen again. And if
is it up there right now, dude?
No, it's at 500 million, 550, 500. Oh, it's only 550.
550.
If you win the lottery, what would you do? That's the question I want to ask the listeners. What would you do if you won the lottery?
You've heard our stories. Now, you've heard our young stories. We just want to know what your current stories are.
Yeah.
All right, so leave a comment on the chat or in our social media page when we post about this and let us know, please, because
I'm just curious. I like to.
You never know. We may have already won the lotto. We're just not letting everybody know.
Exactly. Never know. This has been an international podcast transmission of No Fixed Agenda presented by Bubs Naturals. Music was provided by the Poor Dirty Astronauts with lyrics written by Matt Meyer. You can rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you find your favorite podcast episodes. NFA, over and out.